What is going on, everybody? And it has been quite a while since I've done a commentary video. Today we will be talking about entitlement in gaming and why it annoys the hell out of me. So, a couple days ago, it has been announced that Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to eventually come out on PlayStation 4 and PC. Now, me personally, I always knew from day one that this game was eventually going to be released on PlayStation. Because this is what Microsoft does. They pay for timed exclusivity. That is what they pay for. And many games in the past have had the same thing happen to them, whereas they appear on Microsoft consoles first, and then eventually later on, they eventually appear on PlayStation. It's happened many times. So, when Rise of the Tomb Raider was first announced as an Xbox One exclusive, I immediately thought timed exclusive. And sure enough, here we have the definitive proof it is going to be a timed exclusive. So it's not a real surprise to me, but it is nice to have official confirmation for people that were worried about that. That is not the point of this video, though. The point of this video is some of the comments I've read from whiny, entitled PlayStation fanboys about this news. Now, when you look at this news, you would think that these group of people, they would be happy. They would be happy to finally get official confirmation that this Tomb Raider game is eventually going to be on PlayStation. Now it's official. They no longer have to worry about whether it's actually going to stay exclusive to Microsoft or not. Because I can somewhat understand why they would think that, because during E3, there were times when you could tell a game is truly exclusive or not. Because usually, if it was not a true, complete exclusive, it would say first on Xbox or first on PlayStation. But when Rise of the Tomb Raider came on, it didn't say that. It just said Xbox exclusive. So some people, when they saw that, got a little worried. So I can somewhat understand that. But now there's official confirmation that it's coming to PlayStation. So you would think these people would be happy about this news. But no! No, they're not happy. If you can believe that. They're upset because they have to wait one full year before they can play the game. I can't tell how many comments I've read said, well, I don't feel like waiting that long. Why do I have to wait this long? This is not fair. This is bullshit. And what these people don't understand is they should be lucky that they're even going to get this game to begin with. Because Microsoft, you want to know what Microsoft could have done here? If they wanted to, they could have thrown buckets and buckets of money at Square Enix to keep this a permanent exclusive to Xbox. They could have done that. All they would have to do is just throw the right amount of money at Square Enix to satisfy Square Enix enough so they would be comfortable enough to know that it would offset the loss of profit they would get from their game being sold on a PlayStation console. It's happened before. So Microsoft could have done that, but they didn't do it. And these people should be lucky that Microsoft didn't do it, because at this point, I would think Microsoft would actually try to do stuff like that a lot more often to get more exclusives to their platform. Because they need as many exclusives as they can get at this point. Because when it comes to the amount of exclusives, when you compare PlayStation to Xbox, it's night and day. PlayStation triumphs over Xbox when it comes to the amount of actual exclusive games. So you would think Microsoft would be doing this a lot more often, but they're not. So these people should be lucky they're even getting the game to begin with. Because here's another example that I immediately thought of when thinking about this. Street Fighter V is kind of under the same scenario here. It's a game that previous installments were multi-platform. Just like the Tomb Raider game The Tomb Raider game in 2013 was on PlayStation and Xbox, just as the previous installments of Street Fighter were on Xbox and PlayStation. But Street Fighter V is PlayStation and PC exclusive, and it is not coming out to Xbox. And I know what you're probably thinking, oh, well, it's probably the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. Capcom actually came out and said it is never coming to Xbox at all whatsoever. Meaning, Xbox players, if they want to play Street Fighter V, they either have to already have a good enough PC to run it, or they actually have to go out and buy another console to play it. It's not like the Tomb Raider situation where all you have to do is just be patient and wait longer, and then you'll eventually get to play the game anyway, probably with all the DLC. And I have to ask, to any of you hardcore PlayStation fans or fanboys who happen to be watching this video, are any of you guys upset for these Xbox gamers that will not be able to play Street Fighter V? Or do you just not care at all because you're getting the game? And I guarantee you most of them don't even care about this at all because the game is already coming to their system of choice. And this is why I hate fanboyism. This is why I hate entitlement. Because here we have a group of fanboys who feel like they're entitled to every single game, and every single game has to come out on time for their platform. But screw the other guys on the other platforms. I don't give a damn about what games they're getting and how they feel. And that shit pisses me off. Because we shouldn't be fighting each other like this. We should be worried about other players getting the same amount of games to play as we do. We should, but unfortunately we don't. And I would think, and I'm sorry if I'm being jumbled a little bit here, but I would think, at least when it comes to PlayStation fanboys, that the entitlement and fanboyism would have died down a little bit by now, because when it comes to the amount of content on the consoles, the PlayStation 4 is just so far ahead of the Wii U and the Xbox One, it's not even funny when it comes to the amount of content and exclusives. Now, I can understand fanboys of, say, Nintendo and Microsoft, mostly Nintendo, being upset and feel like they're entitled and getting angry because their system is not as successful and they don't have as much to play. So I can understand them being angry and upset. I'm sorry, at this point, I can't understand that attitude from PlayStation fanboys, because they have it all right now. They have it all right now, and they still act like this. I don't get it. I just really don't get it. Hopefully someone can explain it to me. Outside of normal fanboyism, because I would think that would have died down a little bit by now. Because there's really not much to complain about when it comes to PlayStation. There's not really much to really damage control. But yet, they still act like this. I don't get it, so. Alright, I think that's about it. Just let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one.